The solitary bees are certainly enjoying my bug hotel, but can't stand about and watch them all day. I'm only out for my exercise during this pandemic and virus, etc. I need to get the polytunnel sorted. The last of my potatoes from 2019, get rid of the carrots, they're not the best, and the rest of the parsnips, which are still going down a treat. So I'll bring you back when I've piled them all up there to see what we've got. So there's still a few carrots in the ground, but as some of you know, we've had the that horrible beetle. It'll come back to me in a minute. But the parsnips are still pretty good. They're starting to go a little bit soft, but they're edible, very nice. But the carrots are very, very dry, and if the wife saw that, all wrinkled up, she'd say she's seen that before somewhere. So they're still pretty firm, but they don't taste right. And it was the vine weevil I was trying to think about. There's that many bugs. So they're all gone. There's no grubs in the carrots anymore. Excuse me. But just in case they're still in the ground, which they probably are, all this will be scooped out and bagged up and put onto the wildflower garden. The birds can have a little scrat around and help themselves. They won't hurt there. As you can see, these potatoes were put in the 1st of May. These are the Sarpos that my own seed, and they're already starting to grow. So let's see if we can salvage some of these, especially for next year's seed. Well, this year's really, but I've already planted some. But we'll see what we've got and see what we can save and see what we can eat. So that's what I've got out of the Sarpos with the added fertiliser. And if you remember the experiment, I had some potato fertiliser given me, so I'll put it in. So that's what we got from a potato fertiliser. Not a bad crop. And if you're not sure how a potato actually grows, there's the potato's bum, the umbilical cord, the bit that comes off the plant, and then it throws out the chits, the sprouts. And this is the roots. So when we plant them in the bucket, they have to be low enough so there's enough above them for the roots to grow. So the potato can sit in the bottom with no nutrients, and then build it up with a few nutrients so that these can feed off, and then the potatoes will start developing from there onwards. Bucket 2. So this one's bucket 2. That was bucket 1. This was with just my homemade compost. That's bucket 1 with a feed, and these 2 are with my homemade compost. And not a bad little harvest. Now you will hear of people saying, oh, I'm knocking the chits off. So you can see there's probably 4 there that's growing on that one, and it's quite a vigorous plant, and it would take up lots of natural food from out the soil compost that you put in. And this one has got a single one, and as you can see, it's not so vigorous. So, but some people say if you take the chits off, you'll get a better, bigger potatoes. You'll get smaller ones. I never take my chits off, so probably why I get a smaller harvest. But it ain't a bad potato. And why do people grow in buckets? Because even the smaller ones do tend to grow, and they do produce a decent set of spuds. I've got a video in my playlist, the small potato challenge, and I've got one smaller than that. No, potato. So I potted it up, and we'll see what we get. I do hate to waste the soil by taking these home and washing all that soil down the sink. Now, because I've got wood chips here, the soil goes into wood chips and then it gets composted later on. That's my reason for doing it now. So we'll get off now and pick the last of the vegetable that I've struggled to say all season. And hiding behind the broad beans is my Celeriac. Don't think I've got it quite right there, but that's the last one. I'm not growing any this year, so I've got plenty of time to get the word in right. Yeah, we've actually quite enjoyed this vegetable. A little bit different to what we're used to, and I will definitely be growing it again. Celeriac. Bit awkward to get all the bits, which in fact that might be a bit soft in the middle. If we get a few squares out of it, we'll be happy. It's just got a little bit soft there. Not waste not, want not. These are the carrots that we sowed in the box on the 13th of the 7th 2019. These are the carrot Nantes 5. So I'll pull a few of these out and we'll pop them on the floor and then give them a wash. Not many really, most are damaged. I'll just show you one with the carrot root fly damage. So we've given them a bit of a wash, but they're not really edible. But that's your typical damage. It's always below the top, more often than not right at the bottom. But just by cutting the carrot down, you've still got edible, and just pretend that was a bigger carrot, and we've got a bit there that I've cut down, so I'm just going to give that a bit of a try. Excuse me. Smells like a carrot, tastes like a carrot. That's a shame, but that should have been harvested a lot earlier. So how do we stop the carrot fly? Well, this year I'm taking my pallet collar boxes up to 4 high. I've got plenty of compost from all these old beds. The height should stop them, and if not, you can purchase Enviromesh. It's so fine that the moth fly can't get out or can't get in, and this year I trapped a moth in the cage and did a lot of devastation. So we have to be aware that the soil is free and clean to start off with. Another lot of carrots done. You can see a previous video how I've done this, and these were sown on the 11th of April, and I can be really careful. We have 2 out of the 3 seeds germinated there, and you may be able to see that it is still moist, and the water does drip down and it goes back in. So basically the evaporation comes up onto the fruit bottle, and then it drips back down. So it's just a continuous cycle, and this is why I cover my beds with cardboard. Now, I haven't watered these since I last showed you. Now, potatoes don't need any water. They've got their seed potato for that. But I do like just to keep it slightly damp, and there's no need to water them until I can see them. But as you can see there, if this was left open, it'd be as dry as a bone. Very similar to, say, this area. I've covered all my beds now, but as you can see there, that is still moist, and we haven't had any rain for 3 weeks, but this cocoa coir absorbs the heat of the sun. That's why I mulch with it. And then the street lighting covers do the same sort of job, and all I do with these is water down the sides. This is ideal for your cucumbers. So the water doesn't damp off the stems, and that'll stay moist for quite a while. Little water, so precious is the water. We have to save as much as we can. I mentioned about hair nets on these brassicas, and we cooked them, but we didn't put any on this side, and it's cooking them as well. So what do? Do we let the pigeons feast on them, or do we take a chance and let some of them carry on? And I want to show a big boo-boo. I asked a question on my square foot gardening: black, blue or red? And most people said black. Thank you. That's red. You can probably see the old Gigantimo tomato, but there's little bits of red there. I've got to go back on my old videos now and find out what brassicas these are. I've done it again, guys. At least I know these are Sabuto beetroot, and they're all interplanted between the brassicas, so we should get a harvest off those before these establish. These are my parsnips, and everyone knows they do take a long time to germinate, but as you can see there, it's still nice and moist. We do keep an eye on it, make sure that they don't dry out, and all I do is water from the top, and the odd sprinkle goes in here or it goes down the side, and it soaks up from underneath. These aren't very deep, they're only about 25-30 mil deep, just to hold the bottle in place, and we've had no casualties, none fall over. My April tour and progress update will be up at the end of the month. We'll look at the long roots, the all the jobs that we said we were going to do in the April jobs for April. I'm not going to get them all done. I'm back to work on Monday. Oh dearie dearie, the wife's clapping her hands. The radishes are doing okay in between these beds, and I should be doing another sowing soon in this one. And I got the inspiration from William Coleman, Garden and Allotment. He said he puts his radishes all over the place. He may have too many, but I struggle because I never have enough. I'll get a crop and then I have to wait, and then the wife has to go and buy some more. Oh dearie me. So I bought a few of the potatoes from in here outside. Obviously they've got to be left frost free, but some of the plants are getting far too warm in here. We haven't got very good germination on some of the peas. Bill and Val's are doing well. We've got a few of Kelly's from Kelly's Kitchen Garden, and my peas are doing okay. The Kelvin Wonder, I've re-sowed those just in case I drown them. So now I can get all this material out and get that to the wildlife garden, and maybe if I'll be able to update you on that if I get time in my exercise time, but it's getting so warm I'm going to have to move all these and open that window up. Well, it's open, it's Enviromesh, but I can't afford to lose any more plants. Even the beans, they started cooking as well, so I had to re-sow those or chip them, but we've got them in there and we'll see if any come any good. Grapevine, Boscope Glory, it's a red or black grape, quite large seeds, but we do enjoy it. Cardboard definitely works. If you like the content of this video, then please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the like button, dislike button, and please leave a comment. We love the comments, and welcome to all my new subscribers. One of my videos has just gone absolutely mad, and thank you for all the lovely comments on that video. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.